KYOK Radio 1140.
I'm ready. Yeah, just fade it out.
KYOK Radio 1140 AM, 92.3 FM.
The Not So Christian and Me Show was established in 2018 as a broadcast platform that offers real conversations in a no judgment zone about living our lives as imperfect Christians so that we all can be better Christians. Through radio, we love building the kingdom of God. Our live talk show is community funded. However, we are proud to be serving the community and around the world with the hottest live radio talk show. If you would like for us to continue serving on air, we ask that you would please feel free to sow a seed into this ministry. You can sow by way of Cash App at $TNSCIM or through our website at www.thenotsochristianandmeshow.com. We gratefully thank you in advance. May God continue to bless you for being a blessing. Again, our Cash App is $TNSCIM or visit our website.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
Hello, Houston. This is Larry Davis, owner and CEO of Larry Davis Trucking and Logistics. I'm tuned in to the Not So Christian and Me Show, listening to my brother Larry Scott, live on the legendary KYOK Radio. Have a blessed day.
Welcome you, we lift up our soul. Into our hearts, Lord, you can have your way. Oh, yes, I'm to you. We welcome you. Ooh, we lift our souls to you. We welcome you. We welcome you, Lord. We welcome you. We welcome you, Lord. You can have your way in this place. We welcome you. We welcome you. I open up the door of my heart. I open up the door of my soul. We welcome you. We welcome you, Lord. Oh, Lord, we welcome you. Whatever you want to do, whatever you want to say, we welcome you. We welcome you, Lord. We welcome you. Your love is the praise. We welcome you. Only you.
KYOK Radio 1140 AM, 92.3 FM, and home of the Not So Christian and Me Show with your hosts, Larry Scott and Southern Girl Renee. have fun in a no judgment zone right here on the Not So Christian in Me Show.
Hey, welcome back to another live show here at the Not So Christian in Me Show. And I am your host, Talisha Swanson, and I have my co-host,
Loretta Brock.
Yes, today, guys, we're back with another great show. We're here in the studio today with Miss Michelle Saxton with another great fire topic. And the topic is, let's turn our pain into gain. Yes, turn our pain into gain. So happy to have you here in the studio on this day, Miss Michelle Saxton. Looking beautiful.
Thank you so much. Listen, it's all God. I give it all to God. Listen, it's nothing that I've done.
Yes,
Listen, if it had not been for God on my side, where would I be?
Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen
I
to
take no credit for it, but I do thank Him for giving me the essentials to walk in my
Yes, ma'am.
purpose.
That's
I
right.
do thank Him for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. So we're going to jump right into it. Now, we're going to talk about let's turn our pain into gain. First of all, let me back up a little bit.
Okay.
Let's tell the audience, the listeners out there, a little bit about yourself.
Okay, I know we only have an hour, so I'm going to hit it and quit it. All right. I am Michelle Saxton, the mom of one daughter, Bianca, 30 years old. I am the proud owner of Mia Savage Courier Service. I am also the executive producer and the founder of Mia's Missing in Action Grief Support and the Now What Show. God has blessed me to write 2 books, one being international and nationally bestseller, and here I am today.
Wow, so cool.
Oh, Not So Christian on Me Show.
Yes, absolutely. And we thank you for having us on your show.
Yes,
Yes.
we're happy to have you here. Okay, now, again, we're going to jump right into it.
Okay.
Let's talk about, let's turn our pain into gain.
Mm.
Can we talk a little bit about that?
Where do I start? Yeah, so that is the subtitle of my book, How I Made It Over, correct? So when I thought about turning my pain into gain, it wasn't for me myself. It was for others that I knew who may have experienced similar or particular the same type of hurt. And I just wanted to share with the world. And I promised God, if He ever let me come out this funk, this deep, this ratchetness I was part of, you know. So I promised Him if I should ever come out of that, I would inspire other people that they too can turn their pain into gain. Now it took some work. It took some work. But it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, right? So that's where my purpose is in calling to help others, to let them know that don't stay stuck.
Wow, that was
It ain't a stay, it's going through.
Yeah, it's a going through. Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. Wow, that was so powerful right there because,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of people can relate to, you know, for us having the pain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we mentioned earlier, you know, it comes, we deal with pain in different forms. It don't have to
Absolutely.
necessarily as a death. It could be, you know, COVID, losing a job, any situation.
Any situation.
Right.
Absolutely.
So that's so true. Now, I understand that you have a philosophy.
Yeah.
That you mentioned in your life story.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about your philosophy?
Well, my philosophy is let's heal together. Let's turn our
Love it.
pain into
Love it.
gain.
Love it.
Don't go
That is amazing.
missing. Stay found. And the reason why that became my philosophy, because that's what it took for me to come out of my woe is me, right? So I try to encourage, and for those who don't know the story, all of this originated when I lost my dad in 2000, my mom in 2002, and my husband was killed in a car accident Thanksgiving 2004. Every 2 years, it was a blow. And these are not all family are important, but these are my go-getters, my hard hitters, and the ones who I woke up and, you know, and went to bed to every night.
Right.
So after experiencing that, God had to remind me I wasn't the only one who would ever experience that in my life. And those who you lean and depend on, I need you to lean and depend on me now.
Right.
So that's where I get that philosophy for, and it has worked for me. I have held on tight with that philosophy.
Wow, that's, you know what, that just sent chills up my spine
Yeah.
just to even hear that, you know.
Yeah.
Also, before I turn it over to my co-host, Miss Loretta,
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about you're a business owner.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I think.
Congratulations.
Listen, I had to get the help in order to help.
Oh, no, that's right.
I had to get the help in order to help. And I always say I had to take a break before I break.
Oh,
So
I like
when,
All right, Nuggets, come on now.
yeah. And it wasn't until I got the help that I knew I was destined to do something. And all that I do is trying to help others in my community and wherever one is needed. And I found a courier service. So the courier service is your local picking up, you know, whatever is needed, but also the little nugget with the courier service, if you need your red bottoms picked up from the Galleria, you need a particular outfit that you need for tonight, we mimic your style and we go out and get it for you. And the icing on that cake is when you have family members and your loved ones can't take them to their providers, we need a savvy courier service. We take them to their provider. We not only take them, we sit with them. Okay. We don't go in between different other, appointments trying to make the dollar. It's the patient for me.
Right.
So we stay there for them, in their entirety and provide them snacks. Most of those patients are older patients and they have no one to take them. And like I said, for those who weren't able to take them, that's what our program is about. And so far, we have been blessed to be affiliated with Medicaid. So if you have family members that's on Medicaid, our transportation service will help assist them get to their providers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna turn it over to my lovely co-host, Miss Loretta. But guys out there, if you're listening and have a quick question for Miss Michelle Saxton, please call us at 281-453-1000. Again, that number is 281-453-1000. Call in, listeners. We're waiting on you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Yes,
Good morning. Happy
yes.
to be here.
Yeah.
Happy to be in the presence of such greatness.
You ain't kidding.
Yes, Michelle, you have truly, truly blessed me. It's just amazing to be able to see my Facebook friend in person. And look, it wasn't a catfish. She is as beautiful in person as she is on Facebook.
Thank you.
And I know,
You hear me?
Thank you so much.
and I know we've all seen people and they like, well, I'm your Facebook friend. You're like, well, who are you? And you're like, that is not you. No, this is really her. This is really her. And she is truly amazing. Well, just quickly, before I go delve into unpacking what God has given me as far as our conversation, I would like to quickly say that I've been a licensed realtor since 1998, and I am available. I also have mortgage services, insurance services. Those of you that are watching via Facebook, feel free to outreach me via Facebook. You can hit me in my DM and I won't be offended. You can do that. Okay.
Good stuff.
Yes, and I am not the guest today, but I will be the guest within the next couple of weekends.
That's awesome.
So this is what I would like to ask, because mental health is something that we've been focusing on. And I'm thinking that it's greatly needed because it's not a conversation that had been commonly had within the African-American community.
Right.
Let's say maybe it's come to surface within maybe the past 2 years because of the pandemic.
Absolutely.
And so because we were in closed quarters, many of us recognized the need for conversation, for therapy, for some unpacking.
Yeah.
So I would like for you to share with our listeners what it was like or what your thought patterns were like when you were at the very, very bottom of your pit.
Yeah.
When you were at the bottom of that funk, the sense of failure, disappointment, the why God. I want you to unpack that so that someone out there in the audience will know that they are not alone in this funk.
Right.
The funk is not indigenous to you.
Absolutely. So for sure, with anything, And I'm going to be quite honest, to go to God wasn't nowhere near me when I was going through it.
Talk about it.
Right, and I'm going to keep it real. Some people say, well, how can you say you were mad at God? How could you question God? God wants us to question
That's
us.
right. That's right.
God wants us to question him because he wants to know that you know that we're holding him accountable for the things that he has said for us. But again, just like he prepared me for my business, he also prepared me as well when he allowed me to say, you need to go lay on somebody's couch. So after I went and laid on somebody's couch, I had, in that process, I said, you know what? Somebody else needs this. Somebody else needs this. And then that's when Mia Missing in Action Grief Support was born. And some of you know about Mia. Mia is my childhood nickname. Never did I use it until now.
Which is beautiful.
This season, and how miraculously that worked out. Mia, my nickname, and I was missing in action. Okay. So God has a purpose, right? God has a purpose to what all of that meant.
Right.
So I vowed and promised myself, God, if you just let me get out of this. There's so many of us has been told somewhere in our life what you have witnessed in this family. You keep it here in our family, not knowing that those are sometimes the things that can hurt us throughout life the most, right? So I promise God, if you would allow me to get out of this funk, which he had, I will form a platform where grief, anxiety, and depression, all three that I was diagnosed with, that my people, not just my people, all people, but specifically our people, to get informed and encouraged about it. And what was so great, that this was already instilled again before the pandemic. Again, do you see how miraculous that is?
Now look, the recovery, I know we want to unpack that and we want to delve into that because many of us need these tools because everyone can't go lay on a couch.
Right.
Everyone doesn't have someone that they can talk to. Okay, however, what I would like to do is just back this train up just a little bit because I want us to go from where you were in the pit, and I want to cover that area, that interim, that mesothesis of where you were when you were in the pit, and then the couch. There are some things that happen in between there. So we want to see what that looks like because I believe that there were some interventions that took place.
Absolutely.
So I want you to touch on that because many of us have family members that are exhibiting these symptoms of grief, despair, disappointment, depression. And the question is, well, what can we do or what role can we play as family members?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to intervene for a quick second. We're going to go ahead and take us a break, and then we're going to hold that thought
and come right back.
Come right back, guys. Again, if you have a question that you would like to ask Ms. Michelle Saxton, please call us at 281-453-1000.
Okay, hey guys, glad you guys decided to join. Feel free to call if you have questions. I know that many of us are dealing with different issues. If you're not dealing with an issue yourself, you may know someone that is dealing with an issue. Call in, get some tools. Get some tools to work with. If you had all of the answers, I don't know. I think that you'd be Elon Musk or someone, and Elon Musk doesn't even have all the answers. So what I'm saying is that if you have a resource available to you free of charge, call, tap into that resource, ask questions, reach out. We'd be very, very happy to hear from you guys. Love you so much. Thank you for watching. Don't forget my DM. Give me in my DM.
Says this, our God is awesome. He can move mountains. Keep me in the valley. Hide me from the rain. Our God is awesome. He heals me.
Girl, I'm tired of you. Hell no. I'm calling you. Let's go. I didn't know. Girl, I missed the crab balls. Y'all had it. I know y'all did not, but I'm sorry. I missed it. I missed it.
Think about it, Savior of the whole world, giver of salvation. By His stripes, I'm healed. My God is awesome. Today I am forgiven. His grace is why I'm living. Somebody ought to praise His holy name. Come on and testify. You know He's awesome. Say it. Somebody said, He's mine, 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 He's mine. Come on and make your voices testify. Come on and say, He's holy, He's holy, He's holy, He's holy, He's holy, He's holy. Come on and lift your voice and say, come on and say, He's great, He's great, He's great, He's great, He's great. It's the rhythm like not. He's mighty, He's mighty, He's mighty, He's mighty. Everybody say, come on and say, deliver, 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 deliver. Come on and say, come on and lift your voice if you believe and say, come on and say, He's holy, He's holy, He's holy, He's holy, He's holy, He's awesome. Come on, everybody, all testify. Somebody lift your voice and say, provider, 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 hallelujah, lift your voice. Somebody lift hands up, protector, protector. Has He looked out for you? Protector, awesome. Everybody stay home. Let's get out of here. My God. He can move mountains. Keep you in the valley. Hide me from the rain. My God is awesome.
KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, 92.3 FM.
Okay, and we're back with the Not So Christian in the Show. I am your host, Alicia Swanson, and we're back with Miss Michelle Saxton and my co-host, Miss Loretta. Go ahead quickly and redirect that question to her one more time so we can get a clear understanding.
Okay, sounds great, sounds great.
redirecting the question at this time. Michelle, you have so many tools, and I know that we're going to unpack the recovery process.
Yeah.
But there was a process, there were some things that happened when you were in the funk. The funk took you to the pit, but then there's a mesothesis, there's a space from the pit to the recovery, which the couch was part of the recovery. So the question is, what interventions did you experience? Because we want to give our audience some tools, some options to work with so that they can outreach their loved ones that they may see going through grief, deep depression, discouragement.
Yes.
So let's let them know what that process looked like.
All right, so I'm not a stranger to Facebook and this world. I'm going to say that. And my life is basically an open book, but I am going to give you something that caused me to get on the right track, right? So without telling you too much, because I do want you to purchase my book.
Amen. Amen. Let's purchase the book.
Yeah.
Purchase the book.
So I will say this, in my funk, in my deep sorrow and whatever almost in wretchedness, I would say, first of all, there was space in that time that God came to me and said, it's over, it's time to quit. But the main thing I would have to tell people, first of all, you have to have a connection with God. Anything you're trying to better yourself at, you have to have the connection to God to even know that's God who's trying to put you on the right path, right? You have to allow that word that God has instilled. And even if you don't know many scriptures, get you one that holds you tight, right? Get you one that holds you tight, because we could be Bible-based, Bible-filled, know all the scriptures, but the ones that can hold you tight, get to that one and lean and depend on that one, right? The one that anchors you and hold you tight, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't until my sisters, I have 3 beautiful sisters, right? And then I have one that's like a sister that's been in my life almost 40 plus years. After losing a house, after losing a car, after not doing all those things that they know I wasn't raised up to do, right? We come from a strong family, a family that operated in 1, 2, 3, not 1, 6, 9, 8, all over the place, right? So once they determine, all these things, you work every day. You work every day. What is going on? And neither of us knew that it was depression. And as a matter of fact, I didn't think I had no problem, to be honest.
So just a quick sidebar, your family had to be willing to ask the tough questions.
Absolutely.
So you have to be willing, be willing to ask the tough questions.
You have to be. That's right. Let me tell you something. Anytime you see your family or your loved ones, your friends, walking in a space that they're not being productive, or the space that they're normally working in. Listen, don't be pussyfooting around like my grandmother used to say.
Right.
You get right in that thing, okay? And you ask the questions, okay? You ask the questions, and I'm so thankful that I had a family of praying mama, praying dad, praying sisters to say, you know what, this is not what's up, like Mr. Bible say. They came to me and asked me, what are the things, how can we get you back on track? What caused you to go here? I couldn't even answer that because I had not yet gone to therapy. So I didn't know if I was in depression. I didn't know if I was having anxiety. All I knew, I was just doing me. And that was quite all right because it felt good. It felt good to me, right?
So sometimes the funk can feel good. And you don't even realize that the funk is oppressing and killing you. But you're in the funk.
I'm in the funk
and you enjoying the funk.
Yeah.
That's funk.
Yeah, I want the funk out my face. You want as much funk as you want it to be, okay? Yeah, and it felt mighty good.
So really, you were saying we want the funk.
Yeah, and I was
like, have that funk.
Yeah, absolutely. But then there came a time again where the funk took me to some morally imbalanced places, okay? A funky place.
Yeah.
Funky town.
It took him a funky time.
Right? Absolutely. It took me to some places where I was losing things, like I said, losing myself. And I know I had a 13-year-old daughter at the time. That's not what I want to represent to her, right? She, her and her dad was like this, so I felt like at one time I was even competing from the grave with him because she can bat his eyes and whatever she wanted, he would get it. So it took all of those things, and I'm just so thankful. If it had not been the knock on the door at 8:30 one Sunday afternoon that my sisters had called, they didn't even call; they just showed up.
Okay,
4 deep.
So sometimes people just have to show
They
up.
just have to show up because
Just suddenly they up.
Yeah, because if you know in advance that they're coming, we can always come with all type of excuses why we can't make this appointment, right? So they just showed up. So I want to thank them and for sure allowing God to be implanted. You have to want it, right? And it's how bad you want it, right? It's how bad you want it. So if I'm answering your question, that's what the intervention for me. They put all of those things, okay, how can we start doing this? What can we do to make it better? You know, you work it every day, but you done dug yourself to some debt. You want this right now, thinking you're gonna fix something. You're gonna get all these payday loans, and you digging yourself in a bigger hole, right?
You had someone to show concern.
Yes,
to show concern,
absolutely,
outreach. Even if the answers aren't there, because you said that you didn't have the answers, even though they asked the tough questions.
Absolutely.
You didn't have the answers.
I didn't have
but that was the catalyst for you to go from the pit. You went from the funk to the pit, and from the pit to the recovery process.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And we want to give our honor and glory praise to God for that, for allowing us to go through those necessary steps.
Yes,
And guess what? I hope and pray someone out there that has witnessed the same scenario, situation that you have can listen to you and grow from this as well too in those steps. We're gonna switch the page for a moment, and I'm gonna bring a very, very nice gentleman in by the name of Bobby Brisker.
Yes.
Bobby Brisker. If I'm correct, you're originally born from Coshada, Louisiana.
Born in Shreveport, raised in Coshada.
Okay,
All right,
born in
all right.
Shreveport, raised in Coshada.
All
Hold up now.
Okay. We're gonna talk about your show called Now What?
Now what?
Now What show? Let's talk about that. That's a very interesting topic. Now what?
Yeah.
Now what?
Now what? Now what?
I thought we had a continuation. The Now What show, me and Michelle, we got together one day. Matter of fact, Michelle brought it to me. And I kept saying, what now? In the Now What show, Michelle had a degree support, I have the Knowledge Corner. And my Knowledge Corner is an inspirational, motivational podcast. And Michelle had degree support when she was, people who deal with grief, anxiety, depression, things of that nature. And when we sat down and she brought it to my attention, I was like, man, this would be cool. Because now I'm working with people who's struggling with just getting themselves back on track. And she was also dealing with people who was struggling in the same area. And we was like, okay, now since we done sit down at the table, now you've been motivated, now what? Now, what are you going to do with your life? What are you going to do to help others to come from where you came from so you don't have to repeat that cycle?
Yes. And that's when the Now What show was born. And I want to tell you this, some people know and some people don't know. It took Mr. Bobby Brisker like 6 months to come on board, but I do believe anything that's worth having is worth waiting for.
Right.
And when God is in it, not when it's something you dug up.
Okay.
Not something when you dug up, but when God is in anything, you may have to put your patience in gear, okay? And I just constantly held on to him responding about this because I knew for sure that I wanted him. And it's miraculous how the Now What show have grown, but he gets so much feedback because he's knowledgeable. He'll turn something that's difficult into a storytelling form where we all will be able to understand it. So what meant for like your patience to be tested, it was tested, but I'm so glad that I waited and then stepped in another direction to have Bobby a part of the Now What show.
Wow.
Hey, y'all record that. I want to hear that again.
We'll definitely have it for you.
So you had a trying of your faith.
Yes, I had a
Trying of the faith.
Yes, a trying of my
Yes,
faith, absolutely.
Again.
Again.
All right.
Because,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
You know, and another thing, I'm thinking that when we first talked about putting together, sitting down and get together, we was just gonna do the podcast. But the moment we made a conscious decision, it was like God opened up doors so we could go from the podcast to the TV.
Yeah.
So I think that, like she said, you know, with the time, God knows, just like when she was sitting at home going through her grief situation, God saw that her heart was ready for change. That's when he was able to send the family members over. Because until God can look at your heart and see that it's time, God would just sit back and say, okay, within time, we're going to make it happen, but right now you're ready. So I think right now it's time for us to launch the Now What show, and that's why it's having the success that it's having.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Congratulations on the podcast show.
Thank
You know,
you. Thank
In
you.
the spirit of the sons of Ichabod, to be able to
To
discern the times and the what,
Absolutely.
the seasons.
Season.
Hey,
Absolutely.
guys, we're gonna move into a real quick break here, and then we're gonna come back with another question with Bobby Brisker.
All right.
If you have any questions, call 281-453, that's 1000.
Thank you.
281-453-1000.
KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, 92.3 FM.
Is it just flowing very
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian and Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian and Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hello. This is Southern Girl Denise, the CEO of the Now So Christian and Me Show. And you guys are listening to my sweetheart, Larry Scott, right here on KYOK Radio. Let's get it, baby.
It's so hard just holding on, ain't even picking up the phone. It's hard enough to be, hard enough to stay, hard enough to be alone. I'm just trying to move along. Sometimes I do and then I don't. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell myself that it ain't healthy. Second guessing it don't help me. I'm so tired of feeling empty. Dry my eyes, it's time to fight. Seems like I'm always against me. Seems like this is never ending. I refuse to let it end me. Mentally, spiritually, physically, I need my peace. Oh, I need my peace. I wake up every morning and tell myself, good morning, gorgeous. Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and say, good morning, gorgeous. No one else can make me feel this way. Gorgeous. Good morning, gorgeous. Good morning, gorgeous. All the times that I hated myself, all the times that I wanted to be someone else, all the times that I should have been gentle with me, all the times that I should have been careful with me. Why did I hate myself? Why did I hate so intensely? Lord help me. I wake up every morning and tell myself, good morning, gorgeous. Sometimes you gotta look in the mirror and say, good morning, gorgeous. No one else can make me feel this morning, gorgeous. I ain't talking about getting no hair and makeup. I'm talking about as soon as I wake up, I say good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Don't allow this year to pass by without you guys embracing
All righty, welcome back to the Not So Christian I'm your host, Talisha Swanson, and we're back again with the lovely Michelle Saxton and Mr. Bobby Brisker.
Hey there.
You know what? I want to just talk just a little bit about the now what. Going back to that, that's where a lot of people get stuck at with that now what question. You know, and that's where like they pivot because they don't know, as they said, they don't know up from down, side to side. So, you know, with that brilliant answer, the question that you came back with, the answer to that was very phenomenal. Now, but I want to also ask you, what advice do you think that you could give out there to the listeners that may be going through similar situations that you have been through, or just living in 2022 is hard out here, you know, and like they said, people losing homes, family member, cars. So, I mean, what kind of
KYOK Radio 11.
Yeah, for sure. It again, it starts up with the made up mind, guys. It starts up with the made up mind, and I'm just asking for you to pull from your strengths. People think we have to always have things lined up and be correctly, and that's whether you're starting up with the business, whatever your foundations are that you're wanting to start. It don't even have to make sense. We're just wanting you to go. Walk in that direction. For sure, ask God, you know, to lead us. But for sure, don't let that keep you being stagnant in those things that you're wanting to. And as far as mental health, again, we know about it. We might say, ain't nothing wrong with me. Yeah, but you have some underlying conditions. You have some issues. So guess what? We're going to put away our fakes and fronts on that because it may not be as great as someone else. Yours may be very minute, but it exists, okay? And so when you start to recognize that you're feeling a certain type of way, it's quite okay to go to someone that you trust that can help assist you and tell them, listen, I'm not feeling my best self. I've been feeling a particular type of way. It's all right to even say, I don't feel like going on. You know what I'm saying? Because even that, if someone is in your loving space, they will start and tap into that right quickly, right? So never, and I mentioned before, I thank God, working for the police department all those many years, that the least little thing would tap somebody out to make them want to give up. But even in my funk and my distress, I never thought about harming myself, right? I guess I'm too vain. Yes. I thank God for that. And I'm just going to be honest. Yeah. But I never thought about hurting myself. But my desires were in my hurt. And I had masked up, stiletto, dressed up, masked up, but hurt at night when all the lights are out, when all the phone calls stop. You know, I experienced the pain, but I just wanted to be able to, once I came out, to let others know, guess what? Start implementing those things. You can't be lazy about it. Right. You can't be lazy about it. Nobody's gonna come and knock on your door. Miraculously, I did have a forewarning by my sisters. Yes. But anything that you're wanting, you're gonna have to put in the work. You're gonna have to put your left in front of the right, and you're gonna have to activate it. Okay? Yes. Activation is the word. You have to put that foot in front of the other and put the work in. Yeah.
You know what? I want to talk about your Humanitarian Entrepreneur Award. Yeah. That's the SME Black Diamond Excellence Award. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. That was an experience, but guess what? I think it's good to just be recognized, right? Yeah. Because sometimes when we can start things, we want to know, what we're doing, is somebody even paying attention to this? Right. You know, and I'm being very honest because sometimes, you know, up until this year, I've been in business. I've been in the midst. This will be the 4th year coming up in March. But you wanting to know if anything you said to somebody has impacted them some way. And we always say if it's one person, and I mean that. Yeah. I do mean that. If it's only one person that I've impacted, but my goal is to impact many, right? It's the masses, right? So when these awards were an acknowledgement, I'm saying there's my answer. You know, there's my answer. I thank God for that. And I'm glad. And I get DMs and the people that see me on the street, I don't even know. I see you on Facebook. I see you this. I see you that. I see you with the awards. And it brings tears to my eyes because I'm like, you remember when you was under them covers and couldn't even pull that cover from over your head? And now you impacting someone else. God has allowed you to impact someone else. So that's a great feeling. That's a great feeling.
And that's what it's about, impacting others and changing lives.
Yes, changing lives.
Changing lives. And if we can just change one,
absolutely.
And then like they say, it'll turn to a domino effect.
Absolutely.
Because that one person changed another person onto another person.
Each one teach one.
Each one teach one. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Each one teach one.
Absolutely right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So now here in the near future, do you have any other endeavors that you see forthcoming in your future?
You know what? I told my daughter this one. I get tired of my own self. I'm always digging up something. You know, I want to be a part of something, but that's just my passion. That's who I am. I'm thinking God, and you know, I told God yesterday while I was at them folk jobs, the 9 to 5 jobs, them folk over there that I do still need in order to make mine go.
Amen.
But I told myself, dear Lord, if you just allow me while I'm still in good health, to be able to run my business full force. Yeah. Like so many other prayers I prayed, I feel again that I've accomplished some. But I am so grateful that the steps that I am finally in or have become in, I'm grateful for that as well. So I did venture out something else, and it's because we as plus size girls, we have a tendency of listen to our peers, listen to social media, listen to the news, where things are appropriate of how a plus size girl should be or whatever. Now, I'm not trying to change your gear. I'm not trying, but if it's enhancing an earring, enhancing a hat or whatever, God has allowed me to implement styles with 2 Z, STYLZZ by Mia, and just to implement your style and taking it to a next level. So I'm like your personal plus size stylist. So, and other than that, B and I, we're gonna be producing another book, the Now What book between Bobby and Mia. So you should be hearing more about that at the ending of the year, but that's something we are also engaging in. So God has some things aligned, and we have prayed about it, and I believe as long as there's prayer and God is in it, guess what, anything that we're hoping to do and wanting to do, guess what, He's just gonna lead and direct us in those areas.
Wow. Okay, you know what? That is great. You know, and we're gonna be looking forward to that book.
Yeah, and I'm excited. We're excited.
Yes. I am excited. I'm gonna turn it over to my co-host, Miss Loretta.
Okay, sure. Great. Well, we're wrapping up. Hey, I'm hoping that this was an informative show. I hope you guys received some tools. Michelle, you are more than who you are on Facebook. We appreciate you. We appreciate the show. Of course, Minister Larry,
appreciate
the opportunity. Just to be here and to bless the body, to give the community some tools to work with. And I'm looking forward to continue to either maybe co-host or I'm thinking I'll be a guest within the next couple of weeks, and we'll just continue to unpack tools for the betterment.
Next Saturday.
Well, I found out that there's a conflict in scheduling, so we may have to, work that out.
Yes.
I still love you. Love you guys.
Yes. And again, it was nice to have you both out, Mr. Brisker, you as well. And this was a great show. And guys, please tune in, same time, same place, on a Not So Christian in Me show.
KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, 92.3 FM.
Hi, I'm Larry Scott, host of the Not So Christian in Me Show. Join me Saturdays for great fun, interviews, music, and the latest news surrounding our world today. We are the show that cares to hear your voice and opinion with real conversation in a no judgment zone. So join me Saturdays from 1 to 2 p.m. on the Not So Christian in Me Show, right here on the legendary KYOK Radio, 1140 AM, and the all-new 92.3 FM and KYOKradio.org.
Hello, hello. This is Southern Good Anise, the CEO